Hello viewers, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We have already discussed business transaction and how it affects accounting equation. Today our topic is very important. Double entry system and rules for debit and credit. So must watch the whole video for understanding debit and credit, and please take a minute to subscribe my channel for watching further videos. So let's start. Recall business transaction lecture 2.2. Each transaction affects both either assets and liabilities or assets and equity. This means each transaction would affect two items in accounting equation. These two effects in accounting equation are known debit and credit. The whole system to record business transaction in double entry debit and credit is known double entry system. Double entry system can be defined a system a dual effect where one item is debit and other item is credit. It makes records in more organized way. In fact, debit and credit is addition and subtraction. You will see later on what is debit and credit. See, debit is in fact benefit and credit is something giving. Debit and credit represents addition and subtraction in assets, liabilities and equity as per double entry rule. Benefit or receive is debit and losing benefit is credit. If asset buys, for example vehicle bought means vehicle debit. Means if you are buying something, this thing would be debit. This is rule for debit and credit double entry system. Asset always debit and liability and capital always credit. If asset will increase, it will debit. If asset will decrease, it will credit. Same opposite in the case of liability and capital. As all transaction would have assets, so remember asset is benefit for business, so if it increase then debit asset and if it decrease then credit. The other entry will respond after asset entry. Debit is shortly written as DR and credit is represented by CR. So I have selected some transactions and you see one item would be debit, one item would be credit. Buys office machinery on credit from Mr. A. You see liability is increasing and asset is also increasing. So asset is benefit, so office machinery is coming inside the business, so you say office machinery debit, and I told you if you are very clear about asset entry, the other correspondent entry would be credit. So you say office machinery debit and Mr. A credit. Receivable NFOX pays us in cash. So business is getting cash, cash is debit, NFOX would be credit. Repay a loan taken from P Exter by check. So you are paying loan to P Exter. So bank is decreasing. So you represent the check with the word bank. So bank would be credit because you are paying money and P Exter would be debit. Return sum of the office machinery to Mr. A. It is the opposite of first transaction. In the first transaction we bought office machinery. Here we are selling office machinery. So office machinery would be credit and Mr. A would be debit. A receivable N line pays us by check. Again business is receiving money, bank would be debit, N line would be credit. Bought van by check. So van is benefit, van is debit and bank is credit. I have written the marking scheme of the previous question as I have already discussed, so you can see this one. Same, next exercise we practice debit credit. Bought lorry for cash, so lorry is debit and cash is credit. Paid trade payables T leg by check. Now here the money is leaving, so bank would be credit and T leg would be debit. Repay P Logan's loan by check. So again bank would be credit and P Logan's loan would be debit. Sold lorry for cash. So cash is receiving, cash would be debit and lorry would be credit. Bought office machinery on credit from Ultra Limited. Same, office machinery debit and Ultra Limited would be credit. Trade receivable A Hill pays us by cash. So cash is increasing, cash would be debit, A Hill would be credit. Trade receivable J Cross pays us by check. So bank would be debit, J Cross would be credit. Owner invest into the business by check. When owner investing, it would be 100% capital. You say bank is debit and capital would be credit. A loan is received from LOA by cash. So again cash is receiving, cash debit, LOA credit. Paid trade payables deload by cash. Now here the business is paying, so cash would be credit and due load would be debit. So again, marking scheme is in front of you. You can match your answer with the marking scheme. So rules for double entry for expense and income. We have already discussed double entry for assets, liabilities and equity. Now come to the expense. It's very simple. In payment of all expenses either by cash or check, assets decrease. So it is credited and all expenses debited. For example, rent paid by cash means rent debit and cash credit. On the other side, if income receives either by cash or check, assets increase, so it is debited and all incomes will be credited. For example, commission is received by check means bank debit and commission received credit. So in short, revenue always credit and expense always debit. If expense increase, it will debit. If expense decrease, it will credit. And same opposite in the case of revenue. So we do another exercise for expense and revenue. Insurance paid in cash. So insurance debit and cash credit. Rent is received by check. So bank debit and rent received credit. Machinery costing 450 bought in cash. So machinery debit and cash credit. Wages paid by check. Wages debit and bank credit. Carriage paid by check. Carriage is transport cost. Same carriage debit, bank credit. Commission is received in cash. So cash debit and commission receive credit. You can see the marking scheme of the previous question. So such type of past paper question could come in the exam regarding debit credit. Complete the following table stating the double entry for each transaction. First entry is obtained loan from bank. So bank or cash at bank is debit and loan is credit. Purchase office fixtures by check. Office fixture debit and bank or cash at bank is credit. Sold computer for cash. Cash is debit and sales is credit. So such type of MCQs could also come in the exam. Which statement is true? Asset is always credit entry, expense is always credit entry, expense is always debit entry and liability is always debit entry. We have just done expense is always debit. So C is right answer. Which item would be recorded? Credit entry in an account. Decrease in capital, decrease in liability, increase in assets and increase in capital. So capital is credit, so increase in capital means D is right answer. Such type of boxes could also come in your exam and you have to choose again A, B, C, D, one option. What is the correct entry for office furniture bought on credit from X? So very short, office furniture debit and X would be credit. A check has been received from X, a trade receivable. What is the transaction recorded? So you say you are receiving check from X, so bank debit and X credit. A is right answer. So remember, understanding of double entry is very important to absorb all advanced concepts in accounting. If you are confident on double entry, then go for the next lecture. Otherwise, keep your efforts in understanding double entry rules for assets, liabilities, equity, income and expenses. So this is very, very important, and hopefully after this lesson you would be very clear about debit and credit. Inshallah, in the next lecture I will discuss the recording of debit and credit. Jazakallah. Thank you so much for watching my channel.